My husband has a work wife. He doesn't realize that it's ruining our marriage.
Oh, babe, I thought I could just have 2 wives.
I have 2 wives.
I thought I was in Severance.
I, 31 female, am at my wit's end with my husband's 32 male coworker, Sarah, 30 female, and his complete inability to see what's happening. I'm not usually one for Reddit, but I need to know if I'm going crazy here. By the way, this comes from Honeybella Mama, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, where do I even start? 3 years ago, my husband Mark started working with Sarah. At first, I tried to be welcoming. I invited her to barbecues, included her in group outings, and genuinely tried to be friendly. Big mistake. She spent the entire time making backhanded comments about everything from my career, oh, you're just a yoga instructor? How peaceful. To my cooking, I guess not everyone can master basic seasoning. The real problem, that's a slap in the face.
Them's fighting words right there.
The real problem is that Mark thinks she's just being funny. Mark.
Yes.
Okay.
Mark likes his work wife. Mark likes his work wife.
Oh, another Mark liking his work wife. Typical
Mark.
Last month, she literally threw away the anniversary mug I gave him because it clashed with the office aesthetic. When I got upset, Mark said I was being too sensitive and that Sarah just has high standards for office decor.
I'm breaking up with Mark. Or at the very least, I'm like, you're sleeping on the couch until you understand how dumb that was.
No, I'd be like, dude, don't freaking talk to me about office decor. I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, who cares about office decor?
What?
Who would prioritize office decor over a gift from their actual partner?
And to be clear, this is not, crazy regardless, but like, this is not her saying, hey, can you take this mug home? You know, it's clashing with the office decor,
right?
Which is still crazy. She threw it away.
Yeah.
It was a mug with our wedding photo on it. Some greatest hits from Sarah. She scheduled a mandatory work dinner on our anniversary. She convinced Mark not to take a promotion because it would mean working with a different team. She posts daily photos of them together with hashtags like work power couple and work spouse. Your man's stupid. I'd break up with him for being stupid.
Stop doing this, Mark.
She tells everyone at their office that she takes better care of him than I do. She changed his coffee order and now tells everyone she trained him right. The worst part, my husband is completely blind to all of this.
Think, Mark. Think.
How blind can you really be? You know?
Open your eyes.
At a certain point, you're not blind. You're willfully.
He's probably actively having an affair with his work wife.
Yesterday, he actually told me about how Sarah said our new house, which we spent months searching for, was charming in a starter home kind of way. He repeated this while laughing. I tried talking to him about it, but Sarah has convinced him I'm just insecure. She's managed to insert herself into every aspect of our lives. They text constantly, even on weekends. She knows his schedule better than I do. She rearranged his entire desk and office wardrobe because his style was too suburban husband. That's what he is. Last week, I just marriage counseling. He looked genuinely confused. He, of course, went and talked to Sarah about it. I found out from another coworker that she's been telling people that Mark and I are going through a rough patch and that she's just being a good friend by giving him someone to talk to. We weren't going through anything until she started this nonsense. The breaking point? I stopped by his office to surprise him with lunch. I know, but it was his birthday and Sarah was supposedly out sick. Guess who was there? Sarah. She'd miraculously recovered and bought him a cake that said, "To my work hubby," with a photo of them from the office holiday party. She saw me and said, "Oh, Amy, you came too. How nice. Mark, you didn't tell me your real wife was coming."
Well,
Real what?
Divorce. I've been here this entire time.
I think this would activate like the sleeper cell in me.
Like,
I'd become like Moon Knight.
Yeah.
I would just black out and wake up.
Yeah, and she'd be on the floor. I'm not crazy, right? This woman is trying to destroy my marriage while my husband stands there grinning like it's all some big joke. What do I do? Divorce seems extreme, but I'm running out of options here. And edit, I should have stated that the promotion wasn't one that would increase his salary, but his title. It would give him more leadership experience. It still blows my mind that he turned it down just so he could stay on the same team as her. Highly suspicious. And edit, I should have told the mug story in its entirety. She accidentally broke the mug.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. And she accidentally has done everything, right? It's all a big accident.
I noticed it was gone when I was visiting him one day and I asked him about it. He said she accidentally knocked it over and then later he repeated a joke she made about how it didn't fit the office aesthetic. Yeah, okay, there are comments and there's an update, but the aesthetic is that you are not his wife in the office.
Yeah, the aesthetic is that you are not married to your wife, and instead you're married to this, honestly, a really cringy pick-me girl.
So cringy. I hate her. Oh my God. I think you have to have a conversation. I mean, you've already had a conversation with your husband, but you have to be like, hey, she is destroying our marriage.
Yeah.
You have to put up boundaries with her or we have to go through a lot of marriage therapy because this isn't working.
You need to be
You're being
honest
incredibly
about how this is
disrespectful.
making you feel.
Yeah.
Like, it's ultimatum time. It's like, if you can't see this, honestly, that changes everything that I think about you. If you're so blind to this, I don't even know why I would want to stay with you anyway.
Top comments. Medieval Misfit says, Sarah would not be able to sabotage your marriage if your husband wasn't allowing it.
Facts.
Ford Most 1933, you have a husband problem. Go to counseling and get professional help to communicate your concerns. Remind him that he's married to you, not Sarah, so her opinions shouldn't matter when it comes to your marriage. Good luck, but be prepared for the worst. Late Butterfly 5997 says, this guy isn't oblivious. He's complicit. Exactly. He knows what's happening and he likes the attention. He is happy to let his girlfriend disrespect his wife. And there is an update. I can't imagine he's so oblivious that he just can't.
Can the wife go to his HR?
But there is an update. Hi, I, 31 female, posted a few days ago. I really didn't expect my post to blow up the way it did. I got so overwhelmed by all the comments that I haven't responded to any. I want to address everyone who says it's fake. I understand why you think that, but this is my personal hell. I only listen to Reddit stories on TikTok, but when this reached its boiling point, I just needed a place to talk. So I made an account and tried to yell into the void. Well, the void turned out to be less empty than I thought. Now to why everyone is here. The update. Before I talked to my husband, 32 male, I decided to do some investigation. I started with his phone and read all the messages between him and Sarah. She badmouthed me a few times. He did nothing to defend me, but didn't engage either. She was flirty. He wasn't really flirty back. They talked a lot, and he praised her frequently for her work ethic and intelligence. I didn't see anything about cheating. I checked his email, nothing. I checked his work email, nothing. I looked through our other devices, nothing. I searched high and low for a second phone, nothing. Everything I found was always dancing that line. Nothing was outright cheating, but here are the things I found that did hurt my feelings. 1, he has lunch with her and only her every day in the office. They don't really like anyone else, so they'll criticize others and say, let's talk more at lunch. They're serving XYZ today. He'd say things like, I'm sure if you were a wife, you would XYZ. He always kept it as a wife and not my wife, but it's still upset. Yeah. She admitted to breaking the mug on purpose.
Oh, girl, accident. If you don't get away from him, I am throwing you in a volcano.
He didn't get upset with her, just said, yeah, the photo gifs are kind of corny.
Excuse me? You're going to call a thoughtful mug corny?
You're going to call the mug of your wedding photo mug corny?
Hey, what is this vibe? It's like, it feels like weaponized incompetence.
But it's not even, I feel like it's not even incompetence. I feel like it's like he knows what he's doing.
Right. But the way he's trying to play it is it's like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, what do you mean? It's like, I'm saying a wife instead of my wife. Or it's like, we're just like joking around. It's like my work wife. Like,
I confronted him. I laid it all out. And while he wasn't upset, he did try to brush things off. He said I was being sensitive and overreacting. I told him if we didn't have a real conversation about this, I would file for divorce. Good. That got his attention and he sat down with me. He admitted that at first he found it odd that Sarah was trying so hard. He saw her trying hard with all the men in the office. The more attention she gave him, the more he enjoyed it. And the more he responded, the more attention she gave. Until she just had her sights on him. He knew some of the other men were envious, and he liked that too. He admitted that eventually he just got too deep. He said he knew it was wrong, but he had gotten to the attention and didn't want her to move on to another man. So he indulged her sometimes at my expense. He said it was just nice to have 2 women in the 2 major parts of his life, stating that he knew we'd rarely see one another, so what was the harm? I'm about to harm you.
You know exactly what you've literally just
I'm about to harm you.
Fully laid out exactly what the harm is now. Which is that you're like a little boy who's like getting attention from a girl for the first time, like he's like 14.
I hate this guy.
Like what is wrong with you? You're a fully grown man with a wife. Get the attention you're wanting from your freaking wife, dummy.
He reiterated that he'd never, ever physically cheated with her, but admitted it could be called an emotional affair. It was painful. I won't hide that. I mean, really painful, like I wasn't enough. I told him from this point on, he needed to stop communicating with Sarah and asked to be transferred or switch jobs altogether. Now, folks, I mean it when I tell you this. He lost his. He began raising his voice, saying things like, "He never cheated. It was all above board, and I couldn't control who he talked to at work." But you can't control who you divorce.
Divorce.
He called me a self-absorbed person and a control freak. He told me I had no idea how hard it was, how much stress he had in the office, and that his personal relationship with Sarah helps a lot. Taking it away would just damage his mental health. It got so bad that I started crying. I couldn't take it anymore and decided to leave. Good. I packed a small bag and called my mother-in-law. She's the only family I have here. I gave her a rundown of what was going on. She just offered her home to me. I'm staying here and just hoping my husband calms down so we can revisit this. Divorce, girl. Divorce.
Or at least, at the very least, separation.
Divorce.
Like, it needs to be like, you guys got to work this out separately.
It's like, when at like stadiums and like games, they do defense.
Yeah, divorce.
We're going divorce.
Well, I think if you really want to like find out like, is this salvageable? It's like if you just separate and then he immediately starts hooking up with this trollop at the office.
I just think the fact that when OP expressed concerns, he was like, "No, you can't do that." And he just starts screaming at her.
Well, yeah, of course, because he's clearly hyper defensive.
I want to work it out. I love him more than anything. You can't work this out. I don't think you can work it out. I will try harder to answer comments on this post. I will definitely update if something new happens. And there are some comments. Different ad says, "Welp, I kind of figured he wasn't that clueless. This is a full-blown emotional affair. From experience, things will only escalate till they are in bed together. Protect your peace because he sure doesn't give a dang about your feelings. Stay strong." Toger Sucks says, "Jumped right from admitted it could be called an emotional affair to he began raising his voice, saying things like you never cheated. OP made a valiant effort, but it doesn't seem like this marriage can be saved." And OP says, "My mother-in-law's on my side and told me point blank that he is wrong."
Yes.
Good mother-in-law.
He is.
However, she said she doesn't want to get in the middle because she doesn't want to damage the relationship with either one of us. She told me I'm welcome as long as I need, but she won't bring up anything to her son until he brings it up to her. And I want to bring up that you guys can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app and search up OK Storytime. Yay! That was so smooth.
That was the smoothest.
My mother-in-law agrees his actions are wrong, but doesn't want things to escalate or to damage her relationship with either one of us, so she is staying out of it unless he contacts her. As for my husband, he has tried to reach out. He's called, left messages, texted. I let him know I was safe and left it at that. He will message or call every few hours, but we haven't talked. And that is the end of the story. I think it's divorce. I don't think this can be saved or salvaged.
I think it's like, at the very least, it would require like very intense therapy to figure out why he was like
absolutely, but
so in need of the emotional validation at work from this girl.
Truly.
Who he did say is like talking to all of the men in the office like this.
Yeah.
But then he's just like, I need it to be able to get through my day. And it's like,
it's so
shut
hard.
up,
like,
dude.
Everyone has a hard job. Get over it.
Shut up, dude. Shut
You're
your
probably
face.
just like sending freaking emails. You probably have a fake email job.
You're
stink.
gross
You
for
freaking
having
stink.
a work wife is supposed to be like a
You.
joke. Like then it became like real. She's breaking your anniversary gifts. Stop it.
Get her
Stop
out of there.
it.
Get her
Get
out
some
of
help.
there. But that is the end of that story.